folks, welcome back to your favorite program, Unfiltered. And today my guest, truly, by nature, this one is unfiltered though. Yeah, one unfiltered. So when it comes on the show, dear Jai, well, I won't talk too long. I want to introduce him. This is one of the pillars of resetting in Ghana. I'll be asking him whether he will. I'll keep my questions for now. But this is a man we all know. And when they say in Ghana, he needs no introduction, this man really needs no introduction. Put your hands together and welcome my brother and friend, KOFI AMOABENG. KOFI, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my brother.
This is the first time I'm having you on Unfiltered, so
that is true.
On the KSM show, we relax and then you're cool. But to say they will come and be free. I'm happy.
You're happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. Let me start from this.
Yeah.
Most people who know you for UT, that great bank that you set up, that was such an accomplishment, and that was unfortunately, should I say dissolved or diminished?
Collapsed.
Collapsed. That's the word. That's unfortunate collapse. Let me start from this point.
Yeah.
If the president should call you or all the bankers and tell you guys, I want to right wrong and I want you to bring back all the banks, will you be eager to take it on and bring back UT?
Well, I think I will quote what the president said, and he said even in the NDC manifesto that they will look into the so-called financial cleansing and look at the institutions that were wrongfully given the wrong deal. I mean, wrongfully treated.
We will restore indigenous Ghanaian investments in the financing and banking sector. And we will create a tiered banking system that will serve various segments of the market. We will give the opportunity for experienced banking hands who were laid off and needlessly to secure their careers once more and move away from the menial jobs that they were compelled to take. As far as practicable, the banking licenses that were unjustly cancelled by this government will be restored.
And because there's the state that caused it, then they will address it. And the ones that didn't cause any offense or something, they will give their licenses back to them. Now, having said that, to your question, asking if I want UT to come back, of course, if the state, through processes, through political witch hunting, whatever you want to call it, have taken a decision and the state will go back and look at it and say it's not fair, and therefore they want to give UT bank license to it. Of course, it absolves us, and then it's another chapter in what we try to build. But your question, I think what you mean is, will I go back?
Yeah.
No. I think
you as KOFI AMOABENG
getting up at 6 o'clock to go and sit there as in CEO the Emerson. Because I did leave UT 2 years before it was collapsed.
Actually, yeah.
So I had left as in I had retired. Therefore, me to find myself walking back, I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I mean, God used me to do a few things. It's come to an end. The story can continue. Can get the right team to probably build it up and so on and so forth. But me personally, I think I've said.
So KOFI AMOABENG will not be personally interested in coming back because you don't have anything more to prove.
More or less, but I will want the state to address the injustice that we faced. And if the state addresses it, all the better. But I'm saying that as in me going to sit down and form a team, and I'll probably be maybe chairman of the bank or something if it's possible. And the younger ones, they've got more talent and more capacity to do great things.
Yeah.
And I think that is the way we'll go.
When you say if they want to, because there was a lot of injustice and they want to write that, what would you consider being an act that has righted a wrong?
For example, let's say how the license was revoked. We were in consultation with Bank of Ghana. We had meetings. We had submitted an investor who was going to inject capital. They said, okay, wait, and after the evaluation, we'll let you know so you can inform your shareholders. And UT Bank was a listed company with about 15,000 shareholders. Mm-hmm. Then from nowhere, you write to the investor that we have brought to you that, sorry, we don't like your investment proposal. And you do not even copy us as the UT Bank directors and owners. And then you pull the rug under our feet. And I feel it's not fair. That's not the way to close down a bank. And then 6 a.m. you go to UT Bank with the pleas and the prayers and break things down. I mean, really, who does that? So that was the first injustice. The second injustice is that the shareholders' shares were being traded on the stock exchange. Mm-hmm. But once the bank was collapsed or its license was withdrawn, it means they couldn't trade on the shares. Therefore, stock exchange also just closed the trade on the shares. Now, this has got other implications. For investors, and that's why we have problem with the stock exchange, who want to put their monies into shares to be traded on the stock exchange. If the government can take an action and just wipe away your investment and not address it at all with impudence, it's like we close down UT and shareholders and whatever. It's not done anywhere. The other thing was, why should they put me in court? Because it was so based, I had left, as I said, almost 2 years. And within that 2 years...
But what reason did they give you for putting you in court?
Now, the reason is that, or the charge is that I have diverted investors' monies from the bank to UT Holding. Now, it's ridiculous because I was the founder of UT, I was the CEO forever, I left 2 years. Nobody ever said that his or her investment couldn't be located. Not Bank of Ghana, not management, not staff. Everybody knows how I run the place. I even don't know how, if you have an investment at a bank, I can take your investment somewhere. How do you do it? Now, the other thing is that, in fact, within the 2 years, all investment that I left had matured and been renewed or redeemed or whatever. So it could have come up that I had, moved investment or divested people's money. And then I was charged with those things. And I was thinking, how is that possible? I mean, I wasn't there. I simply wasn't there, therefore I shouldn't be charged. But of course, they had political connotations. And I know certain things that I didn't think it was possible in our current political dispensation, but it did happen. To the point that when I even went to dance at Dochin's place, it became...
It's so sad, Sabone. Somebody called me and said, hey, but it's serious. I mean, I joke that it was serious. And I think, you see, in Africa generally, when you are seen to be successful and people are going up and down praising you, I mean, I went through Johnny Walker, this, I was creating enemies without being aware of it. As I say, don't banner or namna. Oba any man besides that or so because obi akra for mommy. Say no open ekunu. Obi akra for mommy. Obi akra for mommy. Na man say sure. Enya akra for mama. So that's a good one.
Well, along around the face, oh, he leave me. Let's see you, John Walker. No open ekunu. Had a chance there. That's beside.
So let's look at this, KOFI. Here you are.
Yeah.
You thought we were clapping for you. Meanwhile, back to back elected the most respected CEO, and then to wake up to find out the most respected CEO, the bank has been collapsed and
he's been put in court as a criminal. Yeah.
What were you going through? You said, I think what was annoying people was that while you're going through all of this, they were hoping that to sober you, but also General Sasabone.
Don't stop!
Who you me?
Me who him because I can't story I come here say go free kafa also yare no free kafa. Now kafa run no buy and no what on. Okay, how will be in one of sanction to. Enti oguso na kafa run no team. Obo come you know who the kafa on to hours to do we cancel account. You go back I ever watch you. Who else have
Who have
Oh, it is nice. They come, you know.
Not the career. So no, but seriously, are you that kind of person that it takes some? Because normally people will think, say, Charlie, this man, they say, we are sober no, but you were having fun. Were you doing that to tease or inwardly? Now you couldn't really
it's
be
my
bothered.
nature, but I understand what you're saying because I have a friend, may he rest in peace, he died. He'd been my very good friend since university. And one year I heard that the bank had been collapsed. He rushed to come and see me. I went up to the 8th floor apartment. Or him and Nadine, if you're not now the 8th floor, I'm sick. Now the 8th floor and try. No, only 2 more. No, so actually, I got try ground floor, but when I 8th floor, I say, I offer to me here now.
It was risky to be that high, you know, considering
but it got me thinking a bit. It got me saying, I knew I would take it. But then what happens now? Even millionaires can commit suicide. So maybe something just goes off in their mind. I called a clinical psychologist, Antibra.
You called the psychologist, yeah.
Sit down. I mean, come over here say me what suicidal tendencies because me aware of fear. They say Oslo. And then she said, "So one of friend me there, me say wouldn't be," and that's about it. You know. So to your point, yeah, people expected that I will go down under and suck and things like that. And in actual fact, the court case when it started, during the court case, about 2-3 years in the court case, the second accused died, and he was a much younger person. So there are genuine fears, but it depends on the make of the person. I think I'm made differently. The things that define people is not what defines me. I think, not to drag too much, but I think we're in this world to use whatever we acquire, worldly things that we acquire, we have to use it to impact the world. And so when the bank issues happened, I looked at myself, and I've said it before in your program. I said, when I was riding high, I said, God, why me? And then when things go down, I said, what's next?
If things are going well, that's when you ask God.
You ask God, why me?
Why me?
Why me? When
things are going too well, what are you setting me up for?
Exactly. God, what do you want me to do with what you're giving me? So you ask God, why me?
Why me?
But when things are going bad, you say, God, what next?
What next?
So I looked at myself and I said, so is that the end of KOFI AMOABENG? I said, no, it can't be, because I have so much experience, and at least I can leave this experience for the younger generation. And I'm healthy, so God is keeping me healthy and fit, alive for something. So So I said, okay, let me share the experience. So I wrote the books, and I wrote the 3 books.
3 books, yeah.
And then I sat down to reflect, and I said, so what really, really made UT go down, and what is making Ghana stay underdeveloped? It's the same reason. I mean, UT went down because some of the managers that I had could not be trusted, and I had been trusted with other positions because I was leading by example, and I was stressing on values and right culture in the place, show love for the people and everything, and yet we had all these things happening. So I said, I think we need to change the mindset of people in leadership. Leadership in businesses, leadership in churches, leadership in governance, leadership in departments. We need to have a revolutionized mindset because as Africans generally, our values are different and we need to change them.
Quickly, when you had managers you were treating with respect, everything you were doing right, and you thought that because of that, they also reciprocate and also do the right thing and back the company and do the right things. Yeah. But you realize that they weren't.
No, some of them really. In fact, one day, one moment, I had to sack head of a department and his deputy. Got a new person and had to sack him again. So it's difficult. I mean, everyone knows how to go through interview, you rehearse and come and say all the right things, you know. And the problem with UT is that when we became a bank, we didn't have bankers, and by Bank of Ghana's requirements, we needed to have top bankers. So we pushed from Stan Chart, from Access Bank, from UBA, from all the banks, and they became the departmental heads. They are big people, right? Now they came between me and the old UT and the bank. So we go to ESCO meeting, for example, it's just me and so-called foreigners, people that have come from also. But that is what should happen at EXCO. So they broke the culture that we had. Each one also came with their own culture. The UBA guy came with his Nigerian culture, Stan Chart came with whatever. And some people were even running away because the things that they had done was catching up with them. They wanted a new band to hop onto. So we had huge challenges. And our culture, we lost our culture because of the influx of all these people. And as any entity, if you lose your culture...
What would you describe as a culture of UT before the foreigners came in? What was the culture there?
The culture of UT was, one, culture has to be led by the leader. And we had values that we had captured and protected with the HR policies. For example, we had the value of respect for all. And respect for all means from cleaner, messenger to CEO, everyone is the same. And respect for systems. It doesn't matter whether you're related to me or you were brought by anybody. If you fell foul of the policy, the proper sanctions are adhered to. There was openness. Literally open, because my office was always open. Staff come in and out as they wanted. Because don't forget, we're doing loan in 48 hours. You can't be putting people outside and so on and so forth. Then openness too, in the sense that I had my number at every reception of UT. If you are dissatisfied, call the CEO of this. And I loved the staff. And they loved me back. I mean, all the women, when they see me, they will hug me, and I hug them back. I know it was a bit too much, but we engaged ourselves, and we had a value called Ubuntu. I said we're a family. Therefore, everything was about we caring for each other, and there was openness about the job. It's something that you don't find with a lot of companies. In fact, there's no company that I can think about that the CEO has put his number up there. In fact, you want the CEO, they will tell you that let's call him and see if we should give you the number and all that. So at UT, we gelled. But let me just say that I read a book called Sapiens, and I read it a bit later. It said for every human endeavor, when you reach the figure of 150 people, you must reinvent yourself, because it means that the culture cannot be sustained or maintained, therefore you have to reinvent yourself. So as for the UT culture, up to now, the people who experienced it, as in our customers, the people who were the staff in UT, the old UT, they still together. They're on a platform and they share, funerals and birthdays and things together. We had what I call the perfect culture. And the respect for all is always by example. For example, I queued when I went to the cafeteria. It can be the cleaner or messenger ahead of me. I will queue because that's the time I got there.
Didn't they just feel like stepping aside? Hey,
No.
Let me step aside. No.
When the new staff come, then they feel uncomfortable that the CEO is behind them. But then they get used to it. And they will tell that, no, that you can't change it. The CEO won't come forward to cross the line or anything. So these are some of the things that we had which made us gel. And everybody felt aligned to the vision of the company. I always cite this example where a receptionist met someone who was defaulting, and then he called the police to arrest the guy and bring the guy to the office. Now, the receptionist has no business to do, but then he says, the company, and I won't allow it. And that is a clear sign of people.
Ownership, taking ownership of that.
Exactly.
So here you are, you have this culture in the UT where people hug, they respect each other, they sort of live like a family.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the image out there was that UT, don't mess with them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go for a loan and you default, can I talk from experience?
I forgot it.
You forgot it. So how are you balancing this? You have that internal cohesion, love, you support, you respect each other, but at the same time, nobody wants to mess with you because they know that if you fall foul, they will deal with you.
Yeah, because it was everybody coming out to you. Because we loved ourselves and we're protecting our company. And the only way to protect the company is to protect the interests of the investors who had given money to online. And it was clear to everybody that once we lose that trust from the investors, our business is gone.
Okay.
So everyone will come at you if you are default. But those who were good clients and were paying on time, they were our friends. We used to have parties and invite investors and invite some good clients and we have a good time. So it's a matter of staying focused on what you're there. Now, to juxtapose that with what happened before the collapse, with all these new people coming in and all those things, they came and broke the structure down. For example, a UT driver who used to come to my office as and when, I met him and I said, Michael, I haven't seen you in a long time. Why haven't you passed through my office? He said, I've grown as a son. And I said, he said, hey, branch manager, if I walk to his or her office and I don't knock or take an appointment, it will affect my appraisal.
Okay.
So see, it changed completely because we had these people coming from outside who fought the good culture that we had and were able to break it down to the point that I realized some of the great people, the old dependable people, had even changed because they're saying, you won't buy BDD and BDB. And that started the decline of beauty.
So from where you sit now, general advice to people who have companies. I always have the dilemma, should I be open and feel free? And then somebody told me, Ghanaians don't understand that you can be friendly without being a friend. Once you're a friend, and once you're friendly, means you're a friend, and then they take advantage. What's your position on that? Because we assume that if you're dealing with people and you want the discipline, then you have to be strict, and you don't get friendly. But you are very friendly. You're hugging. And still. The rules were working.
I think you should adopt the culture that will work for you. I wouldn't say everyone should behave like that because after all, the company but the point is, the people that you're trying to respect and people that you're moving to a different level, you're trying to influence, most of the time don't even appreciate it. Let me tell you one funny story. Nobody took my bag in UT. So one evening I was coming with 2 bags. And I got downstairs, we were watching a match, so the drivers and security were there. And I said, hey guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I went out, my car wasn't ready, so I was coming back to ask them where my son was. And I overheard them talking about me, so I stopped. And what they were saying is, we see you on my own in the back. See you on who came on woman. The one person says, Semina may see you on Kambu. And I was saying that they are not even appreciating the respect I have for them and all that. So to your point, too much of it maybe is bad, but let them know that even though you are nice because they are nice back, and that the sanctions or the policies and the sanctions will be applied without any compromise. One thing is that when somebody committed a crime or some offense in UT, they know the judgment. They say, they know, so it worked. But then, of course, when our numbers grew, then, of course, the culture got diluted. So for new companies, yes, start a culture of openness, a culture of respect for everybody, a culture where you lead and you subordinate yourself to the policies of the company. Why I'm stressing that is that if you do not lead by example and subordinate yourself to the policy of the company, your DMD will also not follow suit. Worse still, if you sleep with anybody in the company, that person becomes automatic DMD. So you start having problems. But I know CEOs, when they are coming, people have to run away from the corridor and the lift. And those companies are doing well. So I think my advice to you is that do what you think is right and will let you go to bed and sleep soundly. So my advice to entrepreneurs is do what is right for the people. When I was running UT, in the morning when I go to the office, I would greet everybody. When we became big, I'll greet everybody on my floor. And I don't pass by my staff or my people without acknowledging them. So I'd say, I'm going, but Charlie, you see that. It assures them that you care for them. And it shouldn't be that they are hiding in the company and they shouldn't see you or you shouldn't see them. That's really a wrong signal. But to my point, there should be a limit as to how open you want to be, and more importantly, be principled about the policies and the sanctions, and it should be without favor. And everybody gets a message.
I get it. So once they understand that there are consequences for whatever you do,
absolutely,
then you be aware that it's your own decision. Whether stay or clarify. Okay. So now you were in court during the last regime, and now that there's a new regime, are you still in court as the is the case still pending? What is the story with your being in court? You've been in court for a long time.
It was a very interesting story. I've been in court for 8 years.
Wow.
The state versus Prince KOFI AMOABENG. And the case has dragged on, recession, all sort of things. And currently, just to get to where we are, our judge, a very nice judge, was an appeal court judge sitting at the High Court. So it means he has stepped down to sit on our case. We got to know that it was because it was high profile, they needed some urgency or something. Now, as we speak, he was promoted to Supreme Court. So he's become a Supreme Court judge. And last week, he retired. Mini judge.
So what has happened to the case then? Is waiting for a judge?
But I'm a lawyer, but I don't know if after 8 years, I feel they appointed another judge, Mahama case, I don't know. And we made a submission of no case, but he didn't have the time to look at the submission. Not that he didn't have the time to look at the submission. Attorney General did not file their position as in whether they want to object or something. And then his time came, so he has left. So KOFI AMOABENG still has I'm still hanging in the balance.
After 8 years.
My reputation is still at stake. Some people wouldn't even want to deal with me. I had to resign from all the boards that I was on because if you're a suspected criminal, you can't. So I started my segregation and said, listen, some of them said, oh, we know you. I said, no. Listen, if you are being charged with criminal offense, you can't sit on any board. I'm telling myself. So I have to Now, God has blessed me. I'm tough because with what I've been through 8 years of paying legal fees and spending time in court on and off and not doing anything, God has found ways and means of keeping me alive. And I'm grateful for it. But on that issue, my biggest thing is, so long as there's mistrust in the judiciary, this country is not going anywhere. Because it's the last barrier. It's when things have failed in business, even with your life and everything, it's the judiciary that will ensure that there's readdress and you put back on track. Take, let's say, someone who has come to Ghana or is come into some money and wants to even buy a land. And then you buy the land and you sold it to about 2-3 people. Where do you go? You go to court. Being in court can take about 5 years. By that time, all your capital is gone, your business plans have become outmoded, so we lose business. I had a case in UT, debt collection. Somebody had taken money, he wasn't paying. The court system and the lawyers were able to dribble the system 8 years again. That debt was not collected until I left, retired. And let me make this point. This world is all about time. The biggest crime is murder, right? Murder means you ended that person's time on earth, right? That's the definition of murder, if you ask me. Now, if our systems and our behaviors and cultures and traditions are all about wasting people's time, they are all committing percentages of murder. That's how serious it is. If the government keeps me in court for 8 years, not knowing my fate, it has murdered me to a point, taking part of my life or my time. And people don't know I can't get what I'm saying, because if you say that even a country is developed, what it means is that that country has found ways and means of saving its citizens' time, period.
Saving them time.
Yes. And we sit in Africa, and it's all about how we waste time. So we haven't started development. We have no clue what development is about. Because if we knew what development is about, going from Accra to Kumasi, which used to be about 2 hours, is now 7 hours with prayers. It means we are getting less developed. It's as simple as that. So we have to really, and that's why I like this government, the reset thing. We have to really come back, look at our whole attitude, mindset, and the system that we have in place, and what we don't do, and what we need to do right, and actually reset and change it. Because I see, and I feel frustrated when this thing comes. People vie into positions only to rip off the state or use their position to become rich. Why did it get to this? But I tell you that almost everyone, that's why I'm not even going into politics, even in normal jobs, they go there exploiting the system for their own selfish ends. And we need to change, because that selfish thing will not take us anywhere. It's about...
I usually bring this up. It looks like I'm kidding around, and I tell people my problem is we have Kwekwa Nancy, who people believe to be very skillful. I think he's a con man.
It's a con man.
But Kofi, he's a folk hero.
That is true.
So does that have any bearing to the kind of people that we are? If Kwekwa Nancy, the con artist, is a folk hero, let's just say,
but I think I wouldn't want to take too much time on this, but what doesn't make us respect time and see the value of time? But interestingly, time is all that we have. And your time is really your life. It defines it completely. So I said your time is your life is your time. Now, for those of us in Africa, sitting in this nice area where there are no natural hazards and no snow and whatever, we develop cultures of wasting time. That is our trouble. And so, Udufia call this man, 2 hours. They haven't asked you why you can do. And then they say, sorry, I quite fool that this and that is what What was all that for? But compare and contrast with somebody in the temperate region. I want in such a quote, which could go high. Go to outside because there's nothing pushing you to go inside. The fact that we lost the value of time is making it very difficult for us to develop. And it's nature, our environment made us that way because nothing was coming at us. No hurricane, no tsunami, no name it. In fact,
is that why there's no sense of urgency in our culture? Everything
exactly, because nothing was pushing. Nobody or what are you worried about? Last 10 years, if you don't need to plan, it will be there. So you take it easy. And if you try to rush, then what should I say? And to make it worse, to stop it from being adventurous, in so be a cry bosom. People we say, value we say, and so you say, trust I enjoy we are say why enforcing. So we are a different breed of people. This is one of the things that I try to let my cohorts, as in the Leadership Foundation, I try to let them understand why we are the way we are. Because you're going to lead people who are thinking negative most of the time, and you understand. And they have to start with themselves. Examine yourself first. And once you understand and you have a different revolutionary mindset, you can now understand why people do the things they do, and then change it by leading by example. So we have a huge problem. But I'm hoping that with this government, the president is saying all the right things, all the right indications are coming forward. It has to be sustainable to let people throw away the caution and be able to do things. But the problem is still the mindset. And I dare say it's the politics that we have now. Let me give you a back of the envelope calculation from the papers, news. And NPP went to choose their head. And delegates have 211,000 plus. Right. Some people were paying every delegate 700 cedis. Right. This quite apart from home market home and billboards and travels and all. So let's say the cost per delegate is 1,000. Right. That means the aspirants, those who could afford it, spent 211 million cedis. Where you're far flag bearer. Now, if you are the flag bearer and you spent 211 million, you are waiting 3 years. If it's a loan, I say interest, but also. This is for minority OTFO. I feel now over fight for national. I say in short, by the time you come to power, 1 billion there
was spending.
And what the 1 billion also bear on money my and I said, oh, we have small calculation. You know?
Yeah.
Don't ask me, say, that's the truth, the hard truth.
Yeah.
So we need. Obi always kind of also you don't do yourself no their check no why which is difficult to really fathom, but that's what it is.
That's the logic.
That's what it is. You know. So this whole country and the things that we're doing, I think it's the priorities are shifted in. The leaders trying to address their situation, they must address it. And don't get them wrong, I'm not faulting anybody. That's the only way your party can come to power, or people can come to power. Now, that's the only way. Send me go send me kojina election, my board down pa. Kojina be one ba me say t-shirt kwa for bimba. Okay, as a pa go into no say on t-shirt and really. But here's the situation that you must contribute because you believe in what it's going to do for you. Definitely.
And also the sound, before, I remember some time ago for politicians to which you want, not much bent well, common bent way. They said the stakes are high.
Oh yeah, motorbike.
Motorbike, NASCO TV, and no regular small screen, giant screen TV.
Often will be flat screen.
Flat screen, thank you. But look, Kofi, we are saying this, we are laughing with it, but this is the true situation. Do we ever come out of this? You have a leadership that you're now mentoring people to start thinking about leadership, training leaders to think like leaders, to act like leaders, so that in case they take over, they have some training. Do you have hope in this? Do you see it happening that one day a crop of people will take over the nation who have been trained to think right and will do right?
It's remotely possible. And fact is that also from one. Say Abraham a lot of folk is or say Okononya Nipabe Minu corrector. So we need to have some people who have the potential, the training and everything, and the different mindset to change the narrative. Because if God decides that He's going to change the story for Ghana, now I know we are our dreams to send a mind of a ship. So to your point, it's like we're trying to cast bread upon the waters. And only God knows what He will do with them. That's the least I can say. Because I still have, even though I'm passionate and that's all I want to do, I still have my fears. Because after we've trained these people, they talk to me and I can sleep well and I say, yes, we've got people in the system. We are releasing them into the same system. And they must survive. So the issue is, how do they keep the values, the ethics, and the love for nation, and the selflessness, and everything that we're giving them, and the God-fearing thing? How do they keep it until they're in a position to deploy or to use them to change lives? It's a challenge, and we're working on that one too. How they can keep it? We need a support system. We need to have brain empowerment sessions and so on and so forth. But that's the only way we can change, if we have leaders with a different mind. That's the only way. I must say this, that the current president is about the nicest person we can get as a president. I know him personally. Not that I'm just listening to what they say. He means well for people. He loves people. He has humility. He's humane. He cares. But has he got the people to deliver with the same passion? Maybe he is in his last term and he thinks that he needs to leave a strong legacy. And whatever he's saying is on point. But somebody has spent 100 million to come to power, and he's a party stalwart. So you give him some position. The 100 million, President, those are the things we have to think about. So we have we have a chance even now. If I have a fear for my brother, the president, is I don't think he's that hard and crazy like me. That's if he can sanction those that he has to sanction. And he needs to change the people. I mean, if you spend money to come to power, doesn't mean you should come here and just steal all the money and get corrupted and not be checked. I mean, he has to set example. That's always what comes up in Singapore, in China, even in China as we speak, millionaires are executed. You know, but in Ghana, it's difficult to have that. If I'm leading a state and you go and commit something, I'll change him up as here. I change for. Then I'm a punisher because Nana say. And then we also have people like the pastors. They become very powerful. They serve a good purpose and very rich and very influential. We tend to intervene in systems. That's the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems that we have. We intervene in systems. So even if President Mahama wants to be hard, it will be difficult.
Yeah.
For him to say that, Nana, I won't listen, I won't listen, because he himself was anointed by the pastors before he came.
He said that they put their hands on him.
Exactly.
Too much power,
So we have too many issues, but we'll continue producing honorable people, thinking of serving the people who are God-fearing, who are selfless. And the thing about this world is, and that has always been my philosophy, it is not what we have that matters. It's what we do with what we have. Now, we all come into this world, and the only reason why we're here is that the Creator thinks we have a purpose, or the Creator knows that we have a purpose. Now, how do you find that purpose? Because you came to the world with nothing. The only way to actually achieve the purpose is to acquire worldly things and use the worldly things to impact the world. And incidentally, you leave everything here when you die. Now, so you come into the world, stay healthy, and don't die, stay healthy. Because if you die, the whole thing is gone. If you are not healthy too, and you're causing negative impact, so be so being so muna or Johnson. Then acquire education, be a happy person, acquire expertise, whatever it is, experience, and all those things. Make money and have material things. Those are the things from education, and these are the things that you use to impact the world. Now, in our normal pursuit of getting the worldly things, we get acknowledgement and praises. So then sometimes we lose the track, and we think having more will let you be admired more. But it's not that. It's what you do with what you have that matters. So let me tell you my personal example. One time I was talking to a group of people and they said, Kofi, you have achieved a lot and you were able to build a bank and that's what your impact. And then I looked at them and I said, do you know a lady called Efie Wusia? Of course the room was quiet. I said, that's my mother. All she did was to raise me the way she did. And I'm her legacy. So don't give me those praises without giving the praise to that lady. In other words, it's not the quantum of what you have or what we see which matters, but what you sow with your presence in this world. And we don't get it. And it's really sad. And unless people think like that, it's not about acquisitions and dissipation of state wealth and ripping off and all sorts of things. What for?
I understand all that. You seem to find ourselves in the world that worships these things. So we may not even be thinking consciously that that's what we're doing, but we end up becoming that.
Yeah.
So how do you break a cycle like that? That for me is like the key thing. Is it breakable?
Okay. It is. You know, I wasn't like this. I never even believed I would be like this. But I went to the army. And it doesn't do it for everybody. But the army really makes you know that your life is worth a lot more, but certainly not to material things. So in the army, You have maybe 2-3 booths. You have your uniforms. You have the ceremonial ones and everything, and it's your whole possession in this world. And even when I was an army officer, commissioned army officer, the only thing that I owned, which wasn't military, was one batakari, which has now become fashionable as we speak. Now, that batakari was if I should go to town and be like a civilian. I didn't need anything. And that instilled in me the quality of not letting worldly things define me. So when I was growing UT and we listed UT Financial Services, and we raised legitimate, genuine, transparent money, $27 million on the stock exchange. And then I was Johnny Walker and all those things. I had one shoe. I had one car that I was driving myself. I had one watch. I had a lot of shoes because that was the uniform I had to use to go to work. I did not change my lifestyle. I did not buy properties outside. I did not buy Hudos cars. I didn't do nothing. What I did was to use those monies to create jobs as a UT bank and get people opportunities for them to work and take care of their kids. So the impact
you made
that is what matters. It's not what the money was worth or flaunting the money that look at me, I don't care about it. And so to your point, we can change it. That is why with my leadership cohorts, the introduction is military training, because that's what changed me. And the military training is the best form of leadership training in this whole world.
The discipline.
Because it is that kind of training which establishes trust between the leader and his men. To the point that when bullets are flying, and I said, Corporal, get up and double, you should get up. And you get up without
thinking.
Yeah. And that is the kind of leadership thing. Because the soldier knows that you and the system are there for them, and that his life depends on you guys, and you guys care. And that's the kind of leadership that you need. It's not about myself, it's about us, and we have a vision, and we have to accomplish it. So I take my cohorts to military training, and after that we come back and we do boot camps, and I'm lying down with them, I'm following them to also the place. They realize that if we are here with KOFI AMOABENG like this, then really, if he can come to our level, then really there's not much to raising ourselves. So you can do it, but it's a deliberate effort, and that is what we try to do. Let them know that it's not about how getting monies and just flaunt it and show it off. It's about what you do, whatever you're able to acquire.
We are understanding of that. We are now facing a system that has actually taught us to waste time. I remember Memudidi Bohimbi. He came from abroad, from America, so he was made an Ohi. So he was in the American form of mind. He thinks, respect time. So there were a group of people that was going to meet him, and they said they'll get to the palace at 9 a.m. So by 8:30, the Ohi is getting ready to go and meet. And then the elder says, Nana, okay.
It's normal.
Yes.
Normal.
So Nana, they stop Nana. Not only come at 9 when they are due, but 11.
Yeah. And generally, people believe that when you let people wait on you, then you are powerful.
Yes. So, KOFI, my question is, how do we survive in a system like this which accepts such abnormality now as part of the culture?
On that case, listen, it can be stopped in our setting by the head of state. The president attends every meeting on time and gets all appointments on time, and his immediate subordinates who do not do it, he sanctions them. And then it trickles down. Now, the thing is, if the leader is doing it,
it will trickle down.
Yes. At UT, no meeting started late. No meeting. And they're all watching you. I mean, if you give them the gap, then it will happen. And if you come late, it will be on your appraisal. So you know the consequence, may delay your promotion or something. So then they don't do it. And in fact, after the demise of UT Bank and all that, those who find jobs somewhere, they say they are too low. Because you can't now UT need to. Yeah. So it can be changed.
Yeah.
It can. Various experience that I have, all I did was just lead the way. Show it. I don't even ask them to do it. I will do it. And when I do it, they say, hey, PK, do you know? Everybody will do it. Because they know if they don't, there'll be sanctions.
Actually, it really reminds me of when I started doing my shows at the National Theatre, and I was so strict. About 8 I must start.
Yeah.
So there were point by 7:30, those who come were seated.
Absolutely.
Because they know that 8 the show going.
Yeah.
Ebo White is doing that now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if Ebo White has a show or 7:38, by 8:45 the place is full.
Absolutely.
So I guess you're right. Once you stick by it,
Yeah, you have
and
to-
people know.
You have to discipline yourself first. And then you are running the show. You know, it hurts sometimes, but it takes a bit of sacrifice to do it.
Yeah.
So it can be changed.
Yeah. So with the resetting agenda, your advice to Jem is that he should start with example, the time especially.
Yeah. And time doesn't cost anything. It doesn't require gold. It doesn't require raw materials. It doesn't require foreign exchange. It's all about discipline and be disciplined to afford. I will be there. I mean, if he can't come because he's tired, he's tired. He's not coming. He's not giving an appointment. If he gives somebody an appointment, he's there. And time management. The fact that you're seeing many people doesn't mean your time will be wasted. I used to see almost everybody. As soon as you come, yeah, thanks. Yes. I've listened.
Yeah.
And I'm giving attention to your needs. I don't have to solve it for you because we have a whole team. You know, so it can be managed. But it's all mostly about the people around you. Like you said, President now 8:30 no contraction will be when you're big man. It doesn't take anything away from you. It doesn't. In actual fact, it shows that you are more disciplined and principled about things, and that you love the people. Because when you love people, you give them their time back. You don't take their time and waste it. And people don't get it. Yeah.
And I'm glad. And for those who are listening, we are talking about the leader as in the president, but all of you CEOs, bank, respect time.
And when you respect time, you gain. When UT, the only thing that distinguished UT was the loan in 48 hours.
Yes.
People will come and pay higher interest rate and take their loan and save time instead of staying at the bank for lower interest rate, which they're not sure about, and probably they'll get it after about 2 months. Because you are not being respected. In this world, people or human beings need only 2 things. One, they want to save time. It's in our DNA. Everybody, whether you like it or not, you want to save time, except African, I had Jamaica cry. But the second thing is you want good or quality time. So let me give you an example. Let's say somebody wants to cross the road, and because of the traffic, the person is not sure, and then you stop for that person and you signal them to cross. Probably you even flash the car coming. You rather than invariably don't even want to finish crossing. They will turn and smile and wave and thank you. That is all every human being wants. Because what you've done, you save them maybe some 10 seconds. But more importantly, you've given them respect as human beings. That they also are human beings and they have a right, and you've acknowledged that. That is what makes their day. And in business, in everything, those 2 things are what you have to safeguard. Save people time and give them good feeling as in respect for their being. And it's done. That's what business is about. That's what governance is about. That's what everything is about. Save people time and give them good feeling. Done. And you look at all the advanced countries, what do? They have time-saving things. Technology is about time-saving. AI is about time-saving. Everything is about time-saving.
Yeah.
All the developments in this world, revolutions and things like that, it's all about time-saving. And then, of course, when you have a lot of time on your hands, you enjoy a good life. and we relax and chill. That's what the world's about. It's not about having all the cars and yachts and aeroplanes. No, that's what it's about. They are all a means, but ultimately what we are here for is to make sure that people's times or their lives get better. So save time and give good time, and you're done.
And with that, folks, let us save time and give good time, and we'll be done. just as I end, the time that I realized most how we have become time wasters was when may he rest in peace. I lost my dad long ago. My poor mother had to sit in, and everybody that came had to narrate to my mother how they heard that Kojo has passed. Oh, na me ko fomo. Na me hu the toto akon na me say, oh, a whole story. And I can say, hey, you see Kojo wo. Every single one of them.
Be able to repeat.
Say no hu here. I'm see ready. We have so much time to waste.
Exactly. It's unbelievable. And may I can say, young men of a crime bin that you remember, again, no bidino, who you been the Wakana, Kuntumri, Miri, Koto, a Crantio, a body, anything hammer.
On that note, folks, we are ending our conversation. We're just having a chat, man. When you guys were just eavesdropping, man, and Kofi, thank you so much, man, and we wish you all the best. And there's more to come.
Yeah. Personally, I think my journey is not ended. I think my main purpose is yet to be achieved. Because, I looked at how I joined the army, came out of the army, started doing business, started the lending business, which helped a lot of people, created businesses, gave employment to people, they were able to feed their families, and I'm proud of that. But I think God wanted to take me through that for me to have a voice and the respect, so that God says, stop this UT thing. Now you have a purpose with a bigger.
You have the foundation.
I have a foundation. Create for me some leaders that I can use to change the narrative for Ghana and Africa.
Wow.
And that is what I'm pursuing.
Wow.
I see it quite clearly. Because if I were to be at UT, relaxed, and everything had not ended the way it did, probably going to retirement and go to Krantumi and then receive big money from the bank all the time. And I probably wouldn't have done that. So really, really, I'm on course.
So this is your next chapter?
This is my next chapter. So watch the space.
Show some love, man. And watch the space until we come back on Unfiltered one more time for our good. My brother here, Kofi, show some love. And catch you next time on Unfiltered.